Hello, fellow translators. Hello, fellow freelancers. I thought I should do a video and I should make it a correct video with all the steps laid out correctly. This is a version of the rant that I recently made where I said the correct things, but it really deserves its own video because I keep seeing people make these mistakes. If you want to be hired online, I'm just always amazed at people who don't follow the steps. And there's no excuse not to follow them, not to have everything laid out so you actually stand a fighting chance. Unfortunately, if I'm hiring someone online, if anyone's hiring someone online, the first thing are not your skills. You might have the best skills in the world, but the first thing when we hire you online, without being able to meet you, without being able to shake your hand, without being able to talk to you face to face, is trust and transparency. You need to show trust and transparency first and foremost. And if you cannot show that, no one will even get to your skills. Okay. So when I receive these random emails from a random Hotmail address and don't get any details, I don't get any other form of communication or contact or anything like that, and I don't understand who's behind the email, I'm sorry. It's going to be like pulling teeth to try to get all the correct information from you just to make sure that I can get in touch with you, that you won't disappear on me, let alone that you're the right person for the job. So anyway, let's get into it because this is very simple and you have no excuse not to follow these steps. So let's get into them. First of all, have social media presence, at least have a pros.com and a LinkedIn account. You don't need to get the paid version of either one. Get the free version and fill them out. They should be filled out completely with everything that you need. There's no excuse not to have that. Right now, obviously, I'm running an agency. I'm not a translator anymore, but you should be able to get the picture. I can probably do one of these by looking at I didn't want to look at the random person's account because I don't have their permission. If you wanted me to look over your account and do a video on that, I could do that. I used to offer it as a service where I go through people's online profile and their CV just to make sure everything was up to snuff, but it took too much time. But if it's for a video, maybe I can do it anyway. First thing, first and foremost, have these completely filled out. You have no excuse not to have these filled out. It's free. Fill these all out with your information just so I can easily click on them and see who you are and what you're about. If you want to fill out other ones like Upwork, like Fiverr, like Translators Cafe, like anything like that, that's fine. In fact, the more places, probably the better. You never know where people will find you. But at least you need pros.com and LinkedIn. LinkedIn because everyone's on it. It's kind of the standard now for online social media. Even if I don't hire you on LinkedIn, I'm going to look for your LinkedIn profile. Pros.com is still very important. I think you're not going to find as many jobs these days. I don't believe. I don't think it's as good for that. So that's why I don't get the paid version. But pros.com is still better for translators, specifically because of your portfolio. But we'll get to that. So first thing, have social media, have an online social profile, I should say, not so much social media in terms of Facebook. We don't care that much about that. Next thing, you want a picture. Preferably, it's uniform throughout everything. And just have a picture. Take one now. If you're at your desk and you don't have a user picture, take one now at your desk with your computer or your cell phone, because that's how clients picture you, right? At your desk doing your work. And so that's how you want to be. The next thing is you've probably been distracted by this. Pros.com lets you do an introductory video. An introductory video is great. That too, you can just film it with I don't know why I'm eating a banana there. You can just do it with your phone or with your laptop once again, and you can just say, but here I vlogged a day in the life, but you can just do something like, hi, my name is so and so. These are my translations. Nice to meet you. Please feel free to contact me, and if you want translations in these specializations or whatever it might be. Something brief that can just put a voice and a face behind the person that they're getting in touch with. The next step, and I didn't follow this here. I put legal and business translator with the flags, but you should spell it out. Well, I'm not a translator anymore, but here you should put Italian to English translator. Don't put IT to EN. You want to be searchable. Don't put the flags. Don't put the abbreviations. Spell out the whole language. And in my defense, I put it here, so I guess I am searchable. But what you want is to be able to be found. You definitely don't want something like I help you navigate the jungle of languages with my translation skill, blah blah. No, just put the language combination and your specialization. Sure, but be searchable. You want to be searchable. That's the main thing. And then that's it. You just want everything filled out correctly. And it's literally that simple. The only other thing I would add is what I mentioned before is the here you go, portfolio. And these are sample translations, and put in, you have no excuse not to fill this out with sample translations from the source language and the target language. Literally no reason not to do it. And I hear people complain, say, no, I signed an NDA, whatever. I don't care. It's very easy to anonymize the text. Just do that. Or if, you take it from somewhere else, one of the volunteer places you did. If you absolutely have nothing to put here, grab some text now and translate it yourself. See, it does not have to be long. I don't care if you've been paid or not for the translation. The important thing is you did the translation yourself, so I can assess your skills. That's it. And unfortunately, LinkedIn doesn't let you do a portfolio like that. And so that's pretty much the only reason why I still recommend having pros.com. I mean, that's not true. Having the reviews here always helps. So after you perform a translation, I always recommend. And for those of you who've taken my course, by the way, all of this is repeated. And so I apologize. But I wanted to do a brief refresher here. Obviously, if you've taken my course, you know all this and you know it in more detail where I talk about how to get reviews because it's very simple to get them for pros.com and stuff like that. But but yeah, this is literally it. If you can do this, you're better than 80 to 90% of applicants. And follow the instructions. When people say contact me this way or something like that, obviously you want to be able to follow the instructions. But as long as you have these filled out with all the information needed, that's it. The only other thing I would add in terms of transparency is on your CV, on your resume, have as many ways of getting in touch with you as possible. So what I mean by that, because too often I see just a Hotmail address and that's it. But you want to list out all your online social profiles on there, your email address, but also list whatever phone number, a mailing address if you feel comfortable, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, share it. They won't use all these ways to get in touch with you. Absolutely not. But the fact that you have them available just makes it that much more transparent. And when you're hiring someone online, that, like I said, that's the first thing we look for. It's someone that we can trust. We need that transparency and that trust. And so just have that. So literally all of this can be done in a day, half a day. It's all free. Just please update your online social profiles and do it thoroughly. That way it's done. And literally, for these portfolios, you can use them anytime they ask you to do those stupid free tests that everyone complains about, and rightly so because they're stupid. Well, if you have a portfolio that already shows your skills, half the time you can just say, no, I won't do the test, but I can direct you to my portfolio where I translate the exact same subject matter and the exact same language combination. So you know that I know what I'm doing. And you need to have this stuff filled out because otherwise we can't sit there pulling teeth. I literally get probably 10 to 15 unsolicited emails a day by translators. And that's when I don't have a job posting up. When I have a job posting up, it's so many more. So I'm looking for an excuse to get rid of them. And if you don't have stuff filled out, and if I can't figure out who you are, I'm getting rid of you. I'm sorry. But I can't, go through the whole process with everyone. Uh, and that's before I even get to your skills, right? I need to make sure that you're someone real, that someone I can trust, and then I can look at your skills and see if you're worth it. So just please make sure you have all of this filled out. Okay, that's it. I know this is starting to sound like a rant once again, but I just wanted to lay out step by step all the things you need and kind of show you on a screen. And hopefully you find it useful. If you have any questions, let me know. But I think this hopefully can make it clear for all of you when you're applying for translation jobs. Okay, that's it for now. Savedum.